Hey everyone, this video is about why science cannot speak to ultimate truths. And I want to say up front, this is not an anti-science video. I teach science. I got a degree in biology from Harvard. My father was a scientist. I love science. Science is amazing. Science has given us so many benefits. Scientists are largely wonderful people. Obviously, we can't generalize about a whole group. But I mean, if it weren't for the behind the scenes, day in, day out work of so many scientists around the planet, I mean, where would we be? So we absolutely need to celebrate science. It actually has largely been our savior, or played a huge role in being our savior. And it's actually for that reason that a lot of smart people think science can also speak to this part here. And so that's all this video is about. It's about whether we can look to science or scientists and what they say and tell us and put in their textbooks, whether we can look to that body of knowledge and believe it tells us something about ultimate truth, like whether there's a God or ultimate meaning in the universe or those kinds of really big questions. And there's a really simple thing to understand about science and ultimate truth. And that is everything humans know, including science. In fact, reality itself cannot be anything more than experience. That's all we have is experience. So when we're thinking about what's true, we only have our experience to go on. And of course, we talk to others and we get their experience. Now, the fundamental thing to know about science is that scientific knowledge, facts, theories, all of that is a subset of experience. It's part of experience. And this is obvious. You're having an experience right now, and so am I, and it's not in any textbook. We're having sensations and feelings. We dream. Some of us have premonitory dreams. Some of us have had various experiences that science can't explain. There's been reams and volumes of testimony to all sorts of, quote, supernatural, miraculous, etc. phenomenon. But we don't even have to get all dramatic and freaky. Just the experience we're having right now, that indefinable mix of sensations, thoughts, feelings, this isn't in any textbook, right? So there's a lot of experience that is simply not a part of scientific knowledge. So if you believe that science talks about ultimate truth or ultimate reality, let's just say ultimate reality is the same thing as ultimate truth, then you're essentially saying, I call this part of experience reality. So if a scientist believes that the body of scientific knowledge is addressing ultimate truth and reality, like, for instance, someone like Richard Dawkins, who makes a lot of good points, but I'm just talking about this idea in particular. You think that reality is only what scientific knowledge addresses. So now the question is, what in our human experience gets in this smaller subset of human experience called scientific knowledge? what gets called reality by scientists, or if you believe that science sort of is reality. Well, scientific knowledge, first and foremost, is collective. And that's its very power, really, right? Science is carried out by a lot of scientists who peer review each other's articles, who confirm experimental results, right? That's called reproducibility. And that's a crucial part of science. I did an experiment in my lab, I got these results. Scientists don't just accept that. Oh, okay. They have to reproduce those results, and preferably quite a few times, maybe test it out in the field and see if they continue to get those results. So this is a fundamental aspect of scientific knowledge, is that it's collective. And again, that's its power, because collective body of knowledge that can be reproduced can be depended on, right? So it's dependable. It also is universal. Electricity is going to work in Africa and America. And again, this is beautiful. Scientists have made all sorts of discoveries that everyone can use. Okay, but we know that we have thoughts, feelings, dreams, experiences, searches for meaning, all manner of experience that is not in scientific textbooks, and that's not dependable, universal, or consistent, right? So if we put all that stuff out here, matters of the heart, we put all that stuff out there, as well as all sorts of other things, we get a lot of experience that is just not considered real if you only want to consider scientific knowledge real. But the interesting thing is, this is where the juice in life is. This is where the stuff that really matters to us is. If you could have meaning, fulfillment, love, deep satisfaction, excitement, and not have an iPhone, well, I hope you would pick the former. In other words, I hope you'd pick this stuff instead of your iPhone, right? We love science because we hope, and sometimes it does do this, we hope it gives us what really matters to us. But this is what matters to us. And is it not something we experience? Okay, yeah, it can't be reproduced in the lab or measured. I forgot to say things that can be measured. That's a big one in what science incorporates into its truths. So again, it is something we experience, but it's sort of all mushy, so to speak, if you wanted to be sort of scientific about it. How do you measure that stuff? How do you measure your meaning or a dream or an incredible experience, so that beautiful experience, transcendental feeling? So these are experiences that matter most and that science doesn't look at. So that's very interesting. The experience that matters most is not something that conventional science examines or is particularly interested in. And I'm not saying they should be, right? Again, science as we know it is wonderful. All I'm talking about is, can it do the job of addressing this stuff? And one of the reasons it can't, besides everything I've just said, is that ultimate truth and reality is an inside job. It's an individual quest. It is not a collective enterprise. So science is great for this, but we have to examine ourselves. We have to take that inner trip in order to access ultimate truth and meaning. We should honor the experience of scientists. We should honor what's in textbooks and all their achievements, right? Because it's in experience. And we should honor our individual experience, because that's the road to ultimate truth and reality. If you're sitting around thinking, oh, when will science prove that there's God? Or tell us that, oh, they found him behind Pluto. If you're waiting for a collective confirmation or affirmation for you in terms of finding truth and meaning, you're going to wait a long time. That's just not where it is. If you're interested in finding out a lot more about why science can perfectly coexist with spirituality, I wrote a book that I hope is kind of fun. It's called The Science Spell, and it's available on Amazon. I'll link it down in the description below. I also have a website. It's up there on the screen. Subscribe, like, send me money, and enjoy your day.